Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bones. And welcome to the wonderful world of geology. All right, geology is it's our last topic of the year. You made it. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. We made it. It's the last topic of the year there, Bones. So here we go. Geology, we're going to take a look at what the Earth is made up of. And we're going to take a look at rocks and minerals and all this kind of stuff and how the Earth is changing. So let's go. All right, so geology. Geology is the study of what the earth is made of, okay, and how different rocks make up different parts of the world, how rocks change, the minerals that make them up, how our land has been changing, because earth has been kind of growing up just like we've been growing up. We don't look the same as what we used to, and neither does the earth. So we're going to take a look at all that stuff. So here we go. All right, before we can take a look at how the earth is changing, we have to see what makes up the earth, okay? And we split up the earth into three main spheres, okay? Some of these you've heard of before, like our atmosphere, okay? Our atmosphere, we know, is a mix of gases that's surrounding the earth. It's where we breathe our oxygen from. We know the atmosphere protects us from ultraviolet sunlight. We know our atmosphere keeps water vapor around for our bodies because we need to stay hydrated. So our atmosphere is exactly what we studied when we talked about meteorology. All right. We also have the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere is the layer of water that covers the Earth. Now, what does it cover? It covers the land of the Earth, okay, which is what we call lithosphere. Our lithosphere, okay, is a fancy word that just means land. Okay, it's all of the rocks on the Earth's surface that forms a shell around the Earth. Okay, so we walk around on the lithosphere. The bottom of the ocean, okay, is rocks and mud. Okay, so that is still considered lithosphere. All right, so the lithosphere is all the land and the ocean floors that surround the Earth. On top of that, we have our hydrosphere, which is our waters, our oceans, our lakes, our ponds, our rivers, our streams. And then the atmosphere is the air above that. Okay, so those are the three main spheres of the Earth where we live. Okay, so that's important that you understand that. Now, through these spheres, we have energy movement. Okay, and we can see that energy movement through water. Okay, it's the easiest way to actually be able to visibly see how energy moves throughout the earth and all these different spheres. So we already know that all of the energy that we use here on earth comes from the sun. Well, that sun's energy has to be transferred into different stuff for us to be able to use. So the energy from the sun is constantly being exchanged between the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere. Okay, so a perfect example of this is the water cycle. The energy from the sun shines down on all the water, or the hydrosphere of the earth, and it starts to evaporate. Okay, we've done the water cycle before. So evaporation is the first thing to take place. Now, as the water vapor goes up into the atmosphere, it starts to get colder. So that water vapor starts to condense as it gets colder. It starts to turn back into, from water vapor, to little water droplets that get caught up on dust and aerosols in the atmosphere to form clouds. Okay. Eventually, those clouds become so heavy with water that it starts to precipitate and rains back down to the earth, to the lithosphere, where it will drain back into the oceans and the entire process starts again. So this is the easiest way to see how energy from the sun, okay, can move throughout the three spheres of the earth that we live in, the water cycle. Now, what exactly is the earth made up of? There's four main parts. Four bones, okay? Don't forget, four main parts of the earth that you need to know about. All right. The first one is the crust. The crust is the outer layer of the earth. Okay. It's our lithosphere. It's the outer layer of the earth that covers the entire earth. It's like the skin of the earth. And what I like to explain it as, it's almost like the skin of an apple. Okay. It's very thin. All right. And it can break. We have got earthquakes that can cause it to break. We have volcanoes, which are holes in the earth's crust, which magma comes out of. So the Earth's crust, okay, is very thin. I like to think of it as the skin of an apple around an apple, and it's the red skin or the green skin of it. You could also think of it as crust on a piece of toast. It's the outer layer of a piece of toast. Now, if we continue to dig, if we dig through the Earth's crust, what we're going to do, and we continue to go down towards the center of the Earth, is we're going to hit something called the mantle. Okay, the mantle is about 2,900 kilometers thick. All right, and it's made up of liquid hot magma, okay, which is basically just melted rock. Okay, it's called magma, and this magma underneath the Earth's crust is slowly flowing around. It's slowly moving around because sometimes it gets a little hotter, sometimes it gets a little cooler, and that causes these convection circles or to start to have the mantle flow, this magma start to flow around. And that's going to cause the crust to move around up on top. Okay, we're going to get to all that later. So the second layer of the Earth, or the big meaty part of the Earth, we call the mantle. Okay, so again, going back to our apple, the crust would be the skin of the Earth, skin of the apple, and the Earth's mantle, okay, is the actual apple that you actually you eat. Then we get to something called the outer core. Okay, the outer core is the Earth's center. It's about 2,300 kilometers thick, and it's thought to be liquid. And it's all right. So it's a little bit more free flowing. Okay, our outer core until we get to the inner core, which we believe is solid. Okay, solid metal. So we've got the Earth's crust, the Earth's mantle, which is the bigger part. Okay, the outer core, and finally the inner core. All right, and that's what would happen is if you would start at the Earth's surface and slowly start to dig your way down to the center of the Earth. Now, people have asked me in the past, Bones, remember asking me this question? Bones asked me this a long time ago. Can we dig a hole all the way through the Earth? And the answer is no. Okay. The answer is no, because what's going to happen is we're going to hit this Earth's mantle, we're going to hit this liquid hot magma, and we won't be able to continue to dig our way through. Also, the outer core and inner core, okay, there's so much pressure down there, and it's such solid metal down there that we're not going to be able to dig straight through the Earth. Okay, so we've got 3 spheres that we need to know, and we've got 4 layers of the Earth. All right, we'll pick this up next time.